Burger King, can I take your order?
Yeah.
Hello? Hi?
Hi.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Did you just order? Oh, shit. Could we try this again, please? Onion rings. Yes! Bring lots of onion rings!
There's a fear to it. They don't know how to act. People constantly say, they meet someone in a wheelchair and they don't know if this person can't use his arms. They don't know if they're supposed to reach out and touch this person, or if they should say hi or if they should not say hi, because there's a lack of education that people with disabilities are people first.
And theater can make people touch and love and hug and cry and laugh and all those things that we don't do enough of in our everyday lives.
What we have here really is a giant jigsaw puzzle. I think that a lot of the people who could and should see the show stay away because they read it in the paper and it says Access Theater. Oh, an enlightening work. Oh, written by somebody who's in a wheelchair. Oh, it's going to be crippled theater. Oh, what are we going to do?
We have with us in the studio Access Theater. They're based out of Santa Barbara, and they're a touring company that combines the talents of performers, some of whom have physical, visual, and hearing disabilities, and they're going to perform a two-act play called Storm Reading here at the Colorado College, and it's going to be tomorrow night at 8:15 in Armstrong. Anybody chirp in here. How'd you guys get together? How did the whole group come together?
Access Theater has been producing original pieces for about 10 years now. And Neil and Roger and I got together about 2 years ago and created Storm Reading out of a collection of Neil's writings over the last 10 years. Roger and Neil and I spent about 3 to 4 months going through stacks and stacks of Neil's writings about his life experiences.
Will people tomorrow night laugh and cry and hopefully have a wonderful time?
You bet.
If they come, have a wonderful time.
That's Neil Marcus, and that's the most important thing, is to get the people to come out and come. Best of luck tomorrow night with the show.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, Colorado Springs.
You too. Take care.
Neil has a rare neurological disorder called dystonia, which he was affected by when he was 8 or 9 years old. In his specific condition, it affects his muscle control and his speech, but it has no effect on his
his intelligence or his creative capacity whatsoever. So when I think about Neil Marcus, I think about an everyman. And I think that probably one of the most precious gifts that he has given me and gives to everybody that he shares his life with is that he teaches everybody that it's important to know who you are and to be proud of who you are and to be creative and celebrate life. Storm reading is a collection of Neil's life experiences put together in vignettes, and where we get to meet people in Neil's life and hear a bit about Neil's philosophy and how he deals with his own life and the people he comes in contact with on a day-to-day basis. And this particular show is the 12th original production that Access Theatre has created. We've staged 3 established works in our 11-year history, but the focus of Access Theatre is to create original productions. That's really what we're all about. We've created musicals and dramas, sign language reviews, musical fantasies, and experimental works like Storm Reading. We've always incorporated actors with disabilities, actors who are deaf and hearing, and actors who are non-disabled in our shows. Storm Reading has been our most successful piece to date, and I think that's because it melds all of the elements that have made Access Theatre productions unique over the years.
Dear Samsonite,
when the people die,
We don't want to be anything but people, communicating.
My signing is bad. I'm learning slowly, so I'm going to let her interpret for me. Don't make fun of me. What's your name?
Do you have to know it?
Yeah. You know my name. Vinny. Thanks.
There are not enough role models. There are not enough people for people to look to and say, oh, I can do that. Or that person is doing that and they're doing fine at it. And we need more role models. We need more people out there in all forms of the media, in the workplace, in education, in every aspect of life.
I didn't want to bring a lot of hearing actors into my school. I didn't want to bring hearing theater to them so much. I really wanted to get actors in here who could speak their language and really communicate with them directly. And I'm really excited about that.
4 hours or 5 hours to load in, that is to bring into the theater all of these pieces and put them together and focus all the lighting instruments where they need to go on stage. And it takes us about an hour and 10 minutes to strike it all, to take it all down.
The one story of the kid in Pullman, Washington, Chris, who was the only deaf student at his school, is one that I always remember and is a classic example of how a show can have a domino effect on a school as well as a community. But Chris had no friends, he had no peers who were deaf. In fact, there were no other people in that town who were deaf. It was a very tiny little rural town in eastern Washington. And after the show, all the kids in the audience in the question and answer session we had said, we have somebody at our school just like all of you guys, and he talks your same language, and his name's Chris, and he's sitting right over there. And Chris became the instant king of the school.
The disabled person, who was already just a little bit spastic to begin with, feels that when he enters into the theater, everybody is watching him. And so, while the actors on the screen are either hitting each other, or making love. Oh, is that making love?
Oh, you guys are wonderful. I love it. No? Oh, good job. Thanks a lot. Okay. Doggone it. You are marvelous. You're marvelous, and you're such a handsome person. In and out.
Yeah.
You can only deal with one damaged wheelchair.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you so much. You're all fun to work with.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed coming by. Appreciate it. It's really wonderful.
This is the station that at night captions news.
Great.
Not one of them ever has picked up interpretive news, which is okay.
But
Caption
captioning
news takes a lot of hours and a lot of volunteers, and it's a pain.
And there are very few stations that do that.
But then also, Neil, I saw this getting set up as we started. It's just like when I'm an interpreter and somebody says, tell her, tell him, ask him if, and I say, I interpret that and I hope that the deaf person will say, talk to me directly, goddammit.
Oh, man. I love you.
Like that line in The Children of a Lesser God where Sarah says, I am tired of people talking for me. I can talk for myself.
My mom had multiple sclerosis, which slowly took control of her body. When she stopped being able to communicate, she lost her speech, and we stopped communicating with her because we didn't understand it. People don't communicate with Neil because they don't understand it. I wish I knew what I know now when I was with my mom, because I could have had a lot more time with my mom, and we could have had a lot more communication, but because she couldn't speak meant, oh, well, then we can't speak to her.
I understand they just pulled the fire alarm before they left.
Good.
That's fun.
With pleasure. Rod first taught me when I joined Access Theater that before anything you must remember that they're people, and I think that's the best lesson I've learned.
No problem. Anyway. Right, and how are we on time?
And I'm going to watch out for wheelchairs because you know there's no one that's going to take care of me.
Well, they're already coming in upstairs.
Good. This is a great book for kids. It's called The Disabled Fable. And
I know, but I'm going to be selfish and get this.
Okay, you understand?
there's a sentence.
Call your friends and tell them.
I think the biggest problem I've had is with educating people about who they are and having them feel comfortable. People have said, ooh, severely disabled, I don't know if I want to see that.
If I was born a different man, with a different heart, and a different man.
Okay, Roger, I'll take a look. Tell me what you think.
That's good.
Okay. Your isn't so great on this. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Reg. How you doing?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Great.
It's a very receptive audience, a very warm audience, and they've also been anticipating Storm Meeting coming to town for a long, long time. So let's just really reach out and give them our best.
This is the last show that we're doing. We get a big break here now, so let's really nail this one. Okay?
Yeah.
Real crisp bookends to this little tour here. Okay? Yeah. Great. Break. Go get it.
Hey, Speed, have you seen the game? If you're joking about being disabled, you better quit it. Come on, you can walk. I'm not going to pity you or feel sorry for you. Come on, you can do it yourself. Come on, get up. Come on. Come on.
What's wrong with your foot?
Children ask this a lot.
Do you think you'll ever get married?
I was just wondering what it feels like to be handicapped. Which word do you prefer, handicapped?
No.
No, disabled?
No.
No, physically disabled? No, crippled? No, shit. Different? Physically different.
The relationship between an audience and a cast for us to be able to send people out of the theater at the end of the show changed or affected. Ultimately, the responsibility lies in the work and in the message of the work. We're not about shoving messages down people's throats. That's not theater. Theater is allowing people to share in a human experience and to communicate face to face in a live setting.
She is alive today because she changed her mind.
Good evening. My name is Rod Lathim. I'm the director of Access Theater. And this is
a favorite time of all of ours to be able to have a few moments to share time with our audience face to face and have a chance to have questions and answers and get feedback and hear your comments.
Oh, I didn't think you were really handicapped until the lights came up, and then my heart kind of shook. I was really surprised. I really feel like you're my brother. You're really connected with me. I just really connected to my heart.
Made me feel every emotion there is to feel, and it was a gift. Thank you.
I'm totally blind, and I got and understood totally what was going on the stage. I loved how you expressed both sides of the disability, the pain and despair and the coping that we go through on a daily basis, and also the joys and the love that it also brings to our lives. It really touched me. I cried. I laughed. I think it really meant a lot.
Thank you. We also thank you very much. Thanks for making the arts accessible. I hope that Access Theater teaches everybody that to first see the person before the disability or the wheelchair. Because if my family recognized that more, if I recognized that more, there would have been a lot more communication with my mom. And she had a lot of talents and a lot more to give that we didn't get to take advantage of.
I believe I have a voice, words, feelings, observations, perceptions, thoughts that can move the world. I am a storm, a cyclone of ideas, thunder and lightning, a warm summer's breeze, a gentle spring rain. Some people, when they look at me, see only an autumn or winter. Too few of them know how to read a storm.
All of us to survive as human beings need love. And we need support. Uniquely, even from most other animals, we've got to have that love. And ultimately, that, to me, is the ultimate form of communication. It doesn't have to be verbal, it can be nonverbal. But there's a soul-to-soul connection when people really communicate. And I think that the theater is one avenue, one way that people can do that and get past the social barriers that we put up between ourselves on an everyday level on the street.
It's the content of our lives that's important. Can openers, shoe goo, bicycle inner tubes, Scotch tape dispensers, all of it is important.
Tonight, when we do the show, there'll be one person that will just again remind me of what I'm doing and why I'm here, and make it all real worthwhile. And my mom will give me another hug and say, right on.
Some people, when they see my twisted frame, my dystonic disarray, embrace the storm.
I think that Yes. And that's what we're doing.
Their eyes light up, and they rush to hug me as a long-lost brother, as if embracing a storm was food for their souls. I can teach you to read a storm.